Welcome to Tarot Tuesday for the week of July 14th. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. Take what resonates, and if this reading doesn't speak to you, go check out your other two signs videos for deeper messages. So Aries, we are here in fellow cardinal sign season, Cancer, and we are still under the effect of a Mercury retrograde until the 23rd. So through this whole week, that is the strongest thing that we are under the effect of. This week does start with the new moon today on the 14th in Cancer. So really, there are new beginnings possible for you, Aries, if you just reassess where it is that you overshare or undershare. What are things that you keep private to yourself? Yeah, so Aries, those are just things to think about. And yeah, this week I'm going to use my bootleg Lunalapin tarot deck. So let's see what we got going on for you from the bunnies. What do the bunnies got going on for Aries? Okay, so you have the Eight of Swords reversed. Eight of Swords reversed is saying, Aries, that there is potentially a pattern of, and I'm just on that example of you oversharing, you know, not thinking about the words before they leave your mouth. If there's something that with this new moon you really want to rebirth, a better way, and just because it's Mercury retrograde, it might not be something related to communication, but it could be, because it is a swords deck, it could be about a belief system. It could be a pattern of how you maybe obsess over things too. There's something that you know isn't serving you, and this is the moment to really acknowledge and speak out. Hey, this is it. I'm done with this pattern. Yeah? All right, let's see. Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups reversed. So reversed, yes, it's a retrograde time. So generally in retrogrades, we aren't as much control as we would like to be, as it's just going to toss us around in whatever ways that it wants to. But yeah, reassessing. And so Aries, this is taking it a step deeper. Then you have patterns that you react from. This is saying that there is something that maybe was even like a childhood wounding about the way that you respond to the world, and you emotionally respond. And it's not bad to be an emotional person, but it is bad when, you know, say, because like I know a few people now that will go into blind rages, and it's like, that is not ever okay. You can't just be like, well, I don't remember what I was doing. No, like, you were held accountable for your actions. So Aries, really, like, if you, before you get to that point of just responding with that emotionality, you really have to assess, like, what is the wounding that made me do it that way? Because it's an example that I've brought up in the past where, like, I did a Vipassana retreat, and my question was, why was I so reckless? And then just, you know, peeling back the layers over those 10 days, I came to this point where I was like abandoned in a mall, and instead of being mad about it, being mad at the parents about it, the response was, well, if I have this deep core wounding that made me do these things now in my, like, you know, I was in my late 20s at the time, then do they not also have that? And then this sense of humanity came through. So Aries, if there's woundings that you're acting from, try to get to the reason that they're doing things. The Three of Hairs. Wow, I don't even quite understand what that is, because this is a whole new symbol in here. But so the Three of Hairs is this symbol of constant regeneration. And so Aries, everything that I've said so far about being stuck in a pattern or a cycle or looping things that, yeah, you don't know where the wounding might have originally come from, this is saying that, Aries, this is the point, this is a pivot point for you to decide that you don't want to react from that old space anymore, and it's time to generate a new pattern. It's, you know, say, for me, it's like every once in a while, I will get into these modes of I really don't have the energy to do anything, but I know that if I, like go running or go back into yoga, I know that the energy will come, it'll take time, but I have to make those lifestyle switches that, I'm going to dedicate an hour in the morning or after work to getting in that movement. So, Aries, dedicate yourself to a more productive movement. Yeah. The Milky Way. Well, that's pretty. Yeah. Milky Way is saying, Aries, like, really get a sense that you are a smaller part of a bigger whole. And so when you're in these reactionary places, when you can remember that, like I said, I came to a place where instead of getting mad and putting blame on people outside of myself, I was able to respond from a place of, if I have this core wounding, people also have this core wounding. And so it is not an us versus them mentality place that we are in, Aries. We are in this hugely globalized, reality of world right now. And for you, Aries, this is asking you to look at the bigger picture of your, family, community, collective, and what actions can you take every day that are going to help you be a piece of that bigger whole versus, there's this hyper individualism happening right now. And this is asking you, Aries, that while you are that individual focus sign, this is asking you to look at the bigger picture and take actions for the broader. And so, Aries, even if, like, if you feel so inspired by this, take some time to do something nice for somebody else this week and just see how you feel and how it makes your collective feel. If you do something nice for, say, somebody in your household, your household's going to feel lighter. If you do something nice at work, it'll ripple through that collective as well. Yeah, that is what the bunnies have for you, Aries. But I'm going to pull one more card from the Starseed Oracle. And let's see what we got going on for Aries. Big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired idea. So here, look at that. Milky Way came out into this card saying that, Aries, this is time for bigger picture. Staying focused on you is, healthy. You got to take care of yourself first. But this is asking you and inviting you to look at the bigger picture outside of yourself. What is it that you do that, supports, like, even just like, your partners, family members, co-workers, the collective in general. Yeah, that is what I have for you this week, Aries. I hope that helps. I do hope that, you realize that while, yes, I don't know what it is that you're working through this week, it's very personal, but in the larger scheme of things, when you are a part of that bigger whole, you're going to feel a lot more satisfied at the end of the day. And I'll see you next week. Bye.